Flytrap. That was the last thing I said on the first video. By the way, I'm going to say that I will, if I decide to make any more of these, you know, a whole chain of them, I may give away secrets that no one else, you're not going to hear from any other law firm until they look at the video, and then all of a sudden they're going to be saying the same thing, and they're going to be saying, so this is June 8th, 2011. So I'm just telling you that when they go ahead and they start saying, oh yeah, I've been saying this forever, you know, just go check the date, because this is going to be brand new stuff that no one else is going to tell you. Because as I said in the first video, my God, I've been doing one single thing for all these years, for 32 years. One single thing, because of Russell Cromwell. I went, as soon as the old men left my office, because they said, kid, they meant well, you're starved to death, you can't do only DUI because nobody can win him. As soon as they left my office, I was kind of arrogant as a kid, and I said, well, you know, I'm smarter than those old farts, and if one lawyer in the country can win him, I'm going to find him and I'm going to copy what he does, and I'm going to do it better than he does. So I started traveling. Around and around and around and around every 3 months, not every 6 months, every 3 months, around the country, to every major city in the United States, studying under all the top lawyers, studying under, in these huge 800-man DUI scientific symposiums. Scientific? What could be scientific? Remember the first video. It is the most scientific crime in America today. And if you stick around long enough, and if I decide to disclose more secrets, I'll tell you, I'll prove every single thing I say in this video. Why would that be important to you if you just got a DUI, or your friend got a family got a DUI? Because science, advanced science, science that even the local doctor clients that I have in here don't know about, is forensic science, is above the officer's pay grade. And he's not paid. Remember, Schwarzenegger hires police because of the size of their bicep, not their brain. And so if you in fact have a very complicated crime, it works in your favor in being able to get a lawyer who can, if he understands the science himself, can find a way to weave you through a net where you leave behind most of the people chasing you. So that's just words, so let's try to prove some of this stuff. It's a crime where, let's say that you could actually drink 32 Long Island iced teas in a row. I know you're going to doubt what I'm saying now, but when you doubt what I'm saying now, just remember, 32 years I'm baking one pie. So hear me out. You can legally drink in California 32 Long Island iced teas in a row. You'll be quite dead after, of course. Climb in your car, drive away, and not violate California DUI law. Or you can drink a half of one Long Island iced tea, climb in your car, drive away, and violate California DUI law. What does that tell us? It tells us that we're entering into a whole different realm, a whole realm of science that nobody really wants to know about as a lawyer, and the government doesn't. I mean, you got to plead guilty en masse. Thousands of you have to go down with sucker stamped on your head, and you know, you go to the public pretender, and they say, well, you better plead guilty. There's no way out of these things. After all, you drank, you drove, so, you know, plead guilty. There's no hope. I'm a very sharp lawyer, and I'm telling you there's no hope. Believe me, folks, there is, but with some caveats. Now, let's talk about some law, because we're going to talk about science, then we're going to talk about law, and then we're going to try to bring them together. And if I can't do it all in one video, then, you know, go look at the next one. But let's talk about some law. Let's say that you're not the mild-mannered people. I can see through the camera. I can see you're just very nice mom. But let's say you're not. Let's say you're Al Pacino's really tough guy, mafia guy. And you are having a bad day. And you got a stone in your shoe, like Pacino said. You know, somebody you don't like. So you just go out and want to improve your mood and you just knock them off. Right? Stuff them in the trunk of your car. You're driving through PB. There's an old Irish cop. And he just, every time a criminal passes him, his nose wiggles. And so as you go by this cop, driving by with a dead body in your trunk, his nose wiggles. So he lights you up. And he's talking to you and he smells a stink in the trunk. So he puts his hand on his gun and he says, open the trunk. So you go back and open the trunk and an arm falls out. Hey, I got to disappoint you. You don't get to bury the body. You know, tie the rock on and throw him. You don't. California does. And you'll be arrested, but you won't be convicted because this crazy Constitution of the United States says that unless the cop does everything critical right, you get away. It's insane, but it's true. So, it's very complicated, complex laws, but the basis of it behind it is the cop has to do things right before they ever get you, because most of you think, I did drink, I did drive. Idiot, idiot, what did I do to myself? What you did to yourself is nothing in reference to being convicted. It's whether or not the officer did everything right. Well, what? Well, if that's true, why don't the other lawyers use it? Because the other lawyers, remember the first video? If you hear them talk among themselves, they say, what's to know about DUI? You drank, you drove, you're on a slippery slope down at the police station. They saw you leave the bar after 10 o'clock at night, slippery slope, you spill alcohol on your clothing. You're on a slippery slope down to the police station. That's what they think. If that's true, then there is nothing critical for the cop to do wrong, and so they would be right in not bringing that up. But it's not. As I'm telling you in this video, or I'll tell you in the next one, or the previous one, it's the most complicated crime in America today, in my opinion. By the way, everything I say in these videos is my opinion after 32 years of doing one single thing, and that's DUI. So, rolling along. So the cops stop you, and you've got all the alcohol in you. Well, what if the other lawyers were right and it's like petty theft? What's to know about petty theft? They saw you put the rubber monkey in your pocket and duh, you walked out and set the alarm off. There's nothing to know about petty theft. So therefore, that defense I just told you about, that the cop has to do everything critical right, wouldn't apply. There's nothing critical to know in a petty theft. And that's what the other lawyers think a DUI is. But if I'm right, and a DUI is the most complicated medical crime in America today, and I am right, then there's a lot the police officer has to do.